Honestly, after having my daughter, I was like, I need to do this full force because now she's watching me. It's
Mhm.
always been a dream of mine, but I feel like before I had her, I was like, I don't know, right? Like, will it happen? But after I had her, I'm like, it's happening. Like
Oh,
I need to just go.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio Season 8. My guest today has a beautiful voice, a passion for singing, and a wonderful spirit. Her debut song, Different Life, is now on all streaming platforms. We are going to take a deep dive into her life today. Kayla, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. The way I found you is when I scroll through Instagram, I see so much talent on Instagram, and you were one of the ones that I scrolled through and I had to stop with what we were singing something. I can't remember what it was because I've gone through your library, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I love Instagram. I
mhm.
think it's like a great place for people to show their talent, and yeah,
Yeah, and
I
I
love
see a
it.
lot
On
of
me.
it. Yes. Okay. Real Talk. We like to build a timeline on Real Talk. But before I start with where were you born? I gotta get this out the way. So you got hit with two scam accounts on Instagram.
I did.
It's very
Yeah,
irritating. Tell me how you found
very.
out.
I had people messaging me like asking, "Hey, like, is this you?" And they screenshotted it, and I'm like, "No, it's not." And they were like actually messaging people saying like, "Hello," like, and like having a full blown conversation. And I think what they're trying to do is to scam people and get money from them. So I only have one account, and all the other ones, I think they even tried to create more. Like I tried to get them like taken down, but they just keep making more. So it's really frustrating.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very annoying. So I when you posted it, um that's it, oh, you got your first fake account. I didn't get
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
with it. I didn't get hit
Oh
with it
yeah.
yet though, but I got
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
the other day with two that added me. So the good thing now is because my friend DJ Chela Soul, it happened to him. I know a couple other people it happened to, but
Yeah.
yours, what I found out when I reported them, it actually you're allowed to say the name of the person they're trying to impersonate.
Oh, good.
Yeah, before there's reasons. Is it this?
Uh,
Is it that? Are they trying to impersonate? When you used to click impersonate, that was it. But now it
oh,
said put the account they're trying to impersonate. So
well, that's
added your
good.
account. So that was good.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know, they get taken down or something, but
Yeah, I
brutal.
think I think IG is good at that when especially when a lot of people report it. That's what I was telling you, like tell your friends to report it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Then they'll hopefully get the hint and yeah,
Yeah. Okay, now, okay, let's get into this. First of all, where were
get
you
into
born
it.
and raised?
So I was born in a town called Chilliwack in British Columbia.
BC,
Yeah,
okay.
BC
Mm.
life. I live in Ontario now, but I lived there until I was like in my last year of high school. And then
Mhm.
I moved out here because I also have family out here. My mom's family is out here, and my dad's is out there. So I go back and forth a lot, but I'm in Burlington, Ontario now. And yeah, a little different, but I like it.
Okay, first thing I want to ask you is everyone safe in BC because there's a lot of wildfires going on, but I don't know if it's in the area where your family is.
Yeah, yeah, everyone's okay, but the smoke is just like really bad. And I have one friend who lives in Kelowna, which is like a few hours away from Chilliwack, and she had to like evacuate and everything, but nothing got burned down or anything, thank God. But yeah, it's brutal. Every year I feel like it gets worse. I think it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, 'cause they're really hyping it up this year though, but this
Yeah,
happens all the time, I
it
guess,
does.
right?
It
In the summer
really does.
season.
Yeah, as soon
Yeah.
as it starts to get warm, yeah, like everyone expects it, right? Even here, I think Northern Ontario had a few too. It was pretty bad, and for a while there, like you could see the smoke. It
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah. It hit us here in Toronto. I remember when they started, I think Calgary and then we were outside riding and it's like you can smell that campfire air, they say,
Yeah,
and all that, right?
yeah, it's brutal. Yeah,
Yeah. But that's good that your family's okay. And I
yeah,
and I think I knew that you had some relation to BC because I see some of your posts, like,
yeah.
when you put the location, I'm like, okay, she must have family out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my brother's out there and my dad's family. And yeah, I try to go out there at least once a year.
Yeah.
Try to make time for it because it's important.
How's the flight out there? How many hours does it take?
It takes like 4 hours, give
Okay.
or take. Like sometimes it's like quicker, and I'm like, how did that happen? And then sometimes it's like longer, and I'm like, okay, but it's not too bad, right? Like it could be worse for sure.
Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
one,
that's
pardon? Say again?
like I've never been on like really a longer flight than that, to be honest. So I don't really have anything to compare it to, but yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Oh, so wait, you never been overseas yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, not yet.
Yeah,
But plan
that's
on it
coming.
soon.
That's
Yeah,
coming. I gotta
yeah,
tell you something. I gotta tell you something, Kayla. I don't like flying anymore. When
yeah.
I got older, I became more like claustrophobic for some reason. So I don't like being in the plane.
I
So
feel that.
yeah. So we
Yeah,
flew to Florida and it was easy because it was only like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
yeah.
But when we went to England when I was younger, 8 hours or whatever it was, I couldn't do that now. I don't think I could do that now. It's
That's a
way too
long
long.
time. You have to like keep yourself occupied like somehow,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
'Cause, yeah, like even like those like 20-hour flights, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, you
Yeah,
know?
that's not me. That's not me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia, all the way down there.
Yeah. I have a cousin in Australia and I'm like, oh, I want to go visit. I'm like, oh, if only the flight was shorter, you know? But
Yeah.
eventually I do want to get out there. So yeah, just gotta keep yourself occupied somehow. Like podcasts, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you
Your
go. You gotta do
podcasts, books, music.
sleep.
Yes,
That's the
sleep.
big one.
That's the thing. I can't like sleep around other people. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Like I know I'm
really?
like safe, but I don't know. I'm like weird. I can't sleep around like a bunch of people. The weirdest thing.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I'd be the
Uh,
same too, but I'm always traveling with my wife, my
yeah.
daughter.
Oh,
So, you know what I mean? Maybe, but
that's
yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. How was school life to you? So you mentioned school in BC. How was high school for you?
High school was good. I liked it as much as you can like high school.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a love hate relationship, I guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, it was good. I went to school with a lot of my friends, and yeah,
Did
it was
did you go through an awkward phase back in the days?
extremely. Yeah, extremely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when I was like probably in middle school, I was like extremely awkward, had no clue what I was doing, who I was. I was just there. But
Yeah.
then once I got to high school, I kind of felt like more comfortable in my own skin and it was a little bit better. But like end of high school, like
Okay.
definitely not the beginning. It took me a bit. Yeah, it took me a bit.
Okay.
But
And what subjects were you good in? Like, what did you
oh my
excel in back in the
gosh.
days?
I took like, here's the thing. When I was younger, I was like, I've always wanted to sing, but I was like, oh, I love animals too. So maybe I'll, get a job with animals. So I took all of like the hardest courses you could possibly take, like
Mhm.
chemistry, biology, like
Whew.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just skid by. I was lucky enough to even pass. But
Mm.
a subject I was great in was English. I was great in English, had great grades there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
music and those classes as well. But yeah, I like took it all. I took too many courses. Too many.
Did
I
you
just pile it on. Like, what else can I do? Let's
what
see.
else can you do? Wait,
Yeah.
so did you go to post-secondary though? What'd you do
No,
after?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
you
did
didn't
not.
go. Mm.
No, I was like, I'm just gonna do my music.
Okay, yo, I have to get into that later in a minute because
Yeah, yeah.
there's one question I always ask people about
Yeah.
where they found their voice. So I'm gonna ask you that in a minute. But I want to know if you have any fond memories. I have a lot of fond memories when I was a child, like, and one that came to mind before this podcast, I was thinking about when my dad used to take us to the Blue Jay game and
Aw,
like every whatever it was in the season, so every month or something, we used to go to a Jays game. And
yeah.
that's a good feeling inside, right? Bonding
Yeah.
with the parents. But did you have any childhood memories that stick in your mind right now?
Honestly, just like spending a lot of time with family, like a
Yeah.
lot of time. And I remember the first time I came here, actually, I was like 7 years old, and it was the first time I met like literally the other half of my whole family.
Oh, wow.
So that was really special to me. Yeah. And especially because like I'm so close with them now. Like I have like second cousins, third cousins, like we all just like gel, we're all friends.
Mhm.
So that was really special. Family's always been like really, really important to me.
Wait, is everyone around the same age too?
Um, Yeah, kind of actually. Like a lot of my cousins are like in their early 30s.
Hmm.
And then I even have like other cousins like in their 50s, and
Yeah.
everyone's just like close. We're all crazy. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's why we all get along so well. We're all whack, right? So it's good.
And so how old are you? So I get to understand, what era you grew up in.
Yeah, I'm 28. So I was born in 95. So
Yeah.
right smack dab in the middle of the 90s,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good time.
And you said, your brother, how is your brother older or younger?
Yeah, he's 2 years older than me.
Oh,
So
2 years
he's
older than you.
yeah.
All right, cool, cool. You know what? I was going through your Instagram and I
Yeah.
seen a picture of your mom, you and your mom, and I gotta tell you, it seems like you have a good relationship with your mom, and you guys look alike. And
Yeah. We
I
get
was
that a lot.
scrolling. You do, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was scrolling right to the bottom and I found it to be like, heartwarming because that very first picture, and people delete pictures and all that stuff, but the picture
Yeah.
I seen, the first picture
Oh
was
yeah.
you and your mom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's my best friend. She really is. I'm really lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
Okay. Now, Kayla, what I want to know now, like I mentioned it before, is when I interview rap artists or people singing and any kind of talent with that voice, I asked them where did they find their voice. So, do you remember when you found your voice?
oh my gosh. Honestly, I was like young. My mom always said as soon as I could speak, I was like singing and humming and hawing. But I feel like around like really young, like 5 or 6, like if I was like annoying my family, they'd be like, go write a song, Kayla. Like just go.
Yeah.
Started. I would just write songs, completely embarrassing. My first songs I've ever wrote, yeah, gotta go. But I keep them, but it's nice to look back on them and be like, oh wow, I've really come a long way.
Yeah. That's Kayla. I'm telling you, that's one thing I like to hear.
Yeah.
So I think the last guest I had, rapper, he was saying that Head Top, his name is, he wrote all his rhymes in the beginning and stuff. And I'm like, do you still have them? And
Yeah.
I asked so many artists, do you still have them? Because that's a good thing to cherish. And you still have them, right?
Yeah, I do. A lot of them don't make any sense at all, but I knew English. What was I doing? But it was good. It's good to look back and be like, wow, it's crazy. Yeah.
Let me ask you something then.
Yeah.
What inspired you then? Because you're writing for fun and people say go write.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
now you're writing for a purpose.
Yeah.
So there must have been like a transition. What inspired you to write after you really got on it? Has
Yeah.
it changed to what's inspiring you now to write music?
Honestly, I like would write songs to just kind of like process things. Like if I was going through something, I would just like write a song about it. And that's kind of like what I've always done. And like as I would get older, like in middle school and high school, I was like writing nonstop. Like no one would ever really see those songs,
Yeah.
probably ever. But that's kind of just how I would like get into my feels and just kind of like let things go. It's just kind of like write it out.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just basically have been continuing to do that. Like I've written lots of songs, lots of
Lots
songs.
of, yeah.
So to finally have one out into the world that I'm like really happy with, and I'm like, it feels good. This one makes
Yeah.
sense, like
This,
this one we can understand it. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. When I look back at some of the, I think you call them covers, some of the things that you sang in the past, which I'm going to get
Yeah.
into in a minute. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I want to know, this was your first one that you put out, your debut song, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you wrote stuff and recorded it. But I don't know what you did with it. So do you have recordings of yourself, but you didn't do anything with the
Yeah.
music?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Honestly, after having my daughter, I was like, I need to do this full force because now she's watching me. It's
Mhm.
always been a dream of mine, but I feel like before I had her, I was like, I don't know, right? Like, will it happen? But after I had her, I'm like, it's happening. Like
Oh,
I need to just go
yeah.
and follow my dream, because I would want her to do the same thing.
Oh
So now
man.
it's really just lit a fire under my butt.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Kayla, I like to hear it. I like to hear it.
Uh,
Has anything ever held you back though? Because I remember someone I was interviewing that sings, they were saying that there was a gap. So they were writing and singing for a long time, and then
Yeah.
they stopped for whatever reason. Life got in the way, and then they
Yeah.
started up again. Has that happened to you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel that 100%. I feel like it was just like a lot of like self-doubt, like those negative voices in your head. Sometimes they can just pull you down, and you just gotta believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself fully, 100%, like that's when stuff starts taking off and you just go. Because,
Yes.
you have to believe in yourself. But that's definitely what held me back, I would say, is like the self-doubt. And like when I was younger, I would get picked on a lot for my singing. Like I was like that kid in class, like always singing. Everyone's like, shut up, Kayla, like
Yeah, yeah.
so I feel like those kind of still played in my head for a really long time. And I just had to let that go.
Oh, good, good. And that's good things to teach your daughter as well. How old is your daughter?
She's gonna be 2 in February, so she's just a little bean.
Oh, wow. You know what? That's what I heard. I think you sang a song to your daughter or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Sweet Child of Mine. That song, wow. After I had her, I was like, whoa, this, whole new perspective on it.
Yeah, it changes you, eh?
Yeah,
So our daughter is 25 now, but I still remember when she was born, and it just changed my perspective on life, you know?
it really does. Yeah, you're
Mm,
like a whole new person afterwards. You're like, wow, they
yeah,
changed me for the better. Good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Back to so you were born in BC, but your last name
yeah,
is,
DeMarco.
and is that are you married? Sorry, are you married or
No,
you're
that's
not,
my
right?
mom's last name. That was my
So
mom.
you know what I'm reading? That sounds like it's Italian.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Okay. Because
Italiano.
so okay, just bear with me here.
Yeah,
So before we get into the music, I'm
yeah.
gonna ask you about your tattoos, right?
Okay,
Because I'm feeling your tattoos, and then
thank
we're
you.
gonna yes, and then we're gonna get into the real would you rather question. But
Okay.
here's a question about your tattoos, right? I have it written down here, right?
Do you?
Yeah. So first of all, before I get to the one on your collar here, let
Yes.
me know the one in your arm. I thought it was like two butterflies, or what's the meaning behind the tattoo? Because I like that one.
So my favorite, thank you so much. My favorite flower art is the iris flower. So I have 2 irises there, and I have a monarch butterfly because I'm obsessed with butterflies also. There's a ladybug in there too,
Hmm.
somewhere. I can't really see it that well. But yeah, I got this one, oh my goodness, like 10 years ago now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Thanks. I love it.
I like that one because anytime I see it, it's like off to the side, and I
Yeah.
think I found one that was facing, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I could zoom in and see what it is, and
Yeah.
then I swear I saw one on your back with a
Yeah.
bird or something.
Yes.
So
You can kind of see.
yes. And I
Yeah.
think that one's about music or something. What does it
It
say on
is.
it?
So it says music washes away from your soul the dust of everyday life, which I mean is just the truest thing ever. Like when you're down in the rough, music pulls you back up. So yeah, I got
Yeah.
that. That was my first tattoo. I was pretty young, I will say.
Yeah.
My aunt signed for me, so we're good. She signed for me, and then she's like, "Okay, I gotta go to work. You good?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I should be good."
Sweet, sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
And now, Kayla. Okay.
yeah.
Do you speak Italian?
Oh my goodness. So no,
Okay. So
I know like a little bit. I know a little bit, but I don't speak it fluently. No.
okay, so don't say anything, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something. But
Okay.
the one you have on your collarbone, that's in Italian, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. So I tried to do my research, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, but I'm going to ask you if this is what it means, right?
Okay. Yes.
So I think it said Siete Fideli a
Yeah.
voi.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and it seems like it means be true to yourself. So am
Yes.
I correct?
You are bang on. That's
Oh,
exactly what it means.
yes.
Good job. Good job. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. What it means. Yeah.
And why did you get that on yourself? I like that saying.
Thank you. I've always just, it's like my compass, my moral compass. Like if I'm ever like questioning anything, it's like, no, Kayla, like be true to yourself, like how do you really feel? Like, what do you really want to do? Like, just like stay true and authentic and you'll be good.
Mhm.
So that's, I had to get that like right there. So I could always see it when I'm in the mirror. I'm like, boom, there it is.
It's it is.
Remind myself. Yeah. In a different language just to make it more confusing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, to like my little bit of Italian. So my Nona would be a little proud.
There you go. You know, that's why I wore the Pauly D shirt today, right? I
Oh,
said
I
I
like
knows
it. I didn't see that. I like that.
it.
That's awesome.
Okay. Before we get into some of the music too now, like I want to understand the lyrics for your song that you put out, right? Different Life.
Yeah.
I wanna know where it came from in your
Okay.
heart. But I have this would you rather question today, right?
Okay. All right.
Would you rather visit your younger self and give them advice for the future? Or would you rather visit your older self and have them give you advice for what's going on right now?
Ooh. Oh, that's such a good one. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I'd probably say go to my younger self
Mhm.
and be like, it's all gonna be okay. You know,
Yeah.
don't stress about the stuff that doesn't really matter. I feel like when you're that age, like, you know, school and other people's opinions and, you know, what am I gonna do with my life? Like all of that just kind of like creeps in and can debilitate you, really. I feel like
Mhm.
I would just go back to her and be like, listen, like you're gonna be good, you know?
Mhm.
Everything's gonna work out. Don't stress. Yeah.
I
Maybe pay
like
a little less attention to the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares what they're doing? Yeah, that's gonna be my advice to my daughter. Don't pay attention to them. You know, focus on
Yeah.
you, girlfriend.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that advice though. I like because I'm gonna actually ask you a question. I ask this sometimes
yeah.
to give advice to people, but that are coming up right now, but I'll ask that later. But I like your answer there.
Thank you.
Now this question is, you know what? You hit me with something though, so I have to say it. So what you said is profound to me because when you're young, this society makes you seem like everything is in a rush.
Yeah,
So when you go to public school, middle school, junior high, get your credit so you can go to college or university and get a job.
yeah,
It's like slow down. It's like you don't know what you want to do and you don't have time to think or breathe.
yeah.
And I feel like you did that, which I really appreciate
Thank you.
because it's not a hustle and bustle life and you have time to figure things out, you know?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, you know, like I feel old, but I know like I still have like, you know, hopefully a lot of time left still, you know, like to figure it out even now. So it's like, you know, if you did have it figured out back then, like good on you because most people don't. And that's okay. I feel like that's kind of how it should be, how it is, you know, like that's just life.
So true.
I don't
So
think we
true.
ever have it figured out, do we? I don't know.
I know. It's so true. I'm
Right.
still figuring it out. At 49, I'm still figuring it out. Hey.
Yeah. Listen, we
Mhm.
all are. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Now, this next set of questions is it didn't matter if my guest chose their younger or older self. This is to do with your younger self.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self about money?
Ooh. Save it. Don't spend it on everything. How about that?
There
You
you
know,
go.
I'll have a little bit of fun with it, but I would say, you know, money is important because when you're that young, like you don't realize, you know, you're like, oh, it's like spending on this, you know, and as you get older, you're like, oh, maybe I should have saved just a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, you know, like have fun with your life too. I feel like there's like that balance that you kind of need to figure out. You know, you can't be like too like strict and not do anything, but you also kind of have to think about what you're gonna do with it in the future, you know?
Yeah. And you know what? Because I'm because I'm this age, I see the friends that I have that were good with their money and
Yeah,
invested in the right things and saved up for the right things at the right time. They're
yeah,
doing really well in life too,
yeah,
where a lot of us are still figuring it out. I'm in a good place right now with my wife and stuff, but it took a long time, you know, like
yeah,
for us to figure it out. And
for
I
sure.
wish I had that mentality to like have a nest egg of money, like a
Yeah,
pool of money that you can, do things with it.
yeah. And you know, I feel like people can tell you whatever they want when you're younger, though. You know what I mean? But you're like, yeah, 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 okay, grandma. You know, like I'm good.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I should have listened to grandma. I'm thinking, you know.
Yeah. But you know what I did though, or what we did, is I really drilled it in my daughter about the value of money.
Yeah.
and she is so good with money right now
Oh,
because
good.
she worked from when she was, I think it was 15 till
Yeah.
now, and she's 25, so 10 years.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
she built up her savings and all that stuff. And now
Nice.
she's in vet school. But I had to do it
Hey.
because my parents didn't do it to me and say,
Yeah.
importance, importance. But I couldn't keep a job either. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were figuring it out, you know?
there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kayla. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what happened. I was the same way. I worked so many different jobs. I even did landscaping for a bit, just
Oh,
because I love being outdoors. But I was like,
yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah. Wait, how many jobs have you had? Do you know how
Oh
many jobs?
God.
You're only 28, but I remember
Yeah.
by the time I was 28, I had at least 10 jobs. But
Yeah, no, seriously, so
yeah.
many. Like my very first job, I was a hostess at a restaurant, Earl's. Shout out to Earl's, great
Mm-hmm.
place to eat. And yeah, I worked there for a few years. Then I worked in retail at like a clothing store. Then at like a beauty supply store. Then I did landscaping for like 7 years,
Yeah.
and yeah, just like so many things. But yeah, music's the one.
This one.
That's
Yeah.
my job for life right there. Yeah.
There you go. And I'll always support you, Kayla, from
Oh,
now
thank
on.
you. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Right back
Okay.
at it.
Next one.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self about family?
Ooh, that it's more important than you think. Like I always valued family, but you know how sometimes like, you have a family event, you're like, I'm tired, I don't really feel like socializing. It's like, no, you need to go because you don't know how much time you have left with that person. Like I experienced loss at a young age, and a lot of other people have too. And it just like puts things into perspective for you, like our days are numbered. I wish they weren't. I
Yeah.
really do wish they weren't, but they are. And that's like the sad truth about it. So, like if you're questioning, I don't really want to talk to this person, I'm kind of just, I get it, life happens, but we got to make the time for family always.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a great answer. Yes.
oh,
So true.
yes. Yeah.
Next one. What would you tell your younger self about friends?
Ooh, that's another one. Like friends are really important, but I would also say that it's okay that they come and go. Like it's okay for friendships not to last forever. I also wish they did, but sometimes people grow apart, and that's totally okay. Maybe y'all can come back together one day, but yeah, that's what I would say. Friends come and go, but nothing wrong with that.
That's
you know
right.
yeah,
That's right. And we all experience it though.
yeah, for
I think
sure.
some people in your life at that time for a reason. And if
Yes.
they leave your life, it was for a reason. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they were just there for a season.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we got a cool
Yeah,
write some lyrics here.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Last one. What would you tell your younger self about love?
Ooh, oh man, that's another thing. It's okay if it comes and goes. The same thing. Like don't focus on it too much, because I felt like I was a little boy crazy back in the day, and I would tell myself probably to just chill out.
Mhm.
Love will find its way to you when it's meant to, and not to chase it, if that makes sense. I feel
Yeah.
like that should never really happen. I feel like you should just let it happen instead of just force it. That's what I
So
would say.
true.
Yeah.
Yo, that was good. You
Oh,
did
thank
it.
you.
You made it through. You made it through. All
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. We're good.
Now on to the music. I'm gonna start current to backward to back in the day, right?
Okay.
So Different Life is out now. What
Yeah.
was that feeling like, that build up? Before I get into some of the lyrics about in the song, what was that feeling like to have it released?
Oh my gosh, crazy. It just felt like, wow, I finally did it. Like yes, I've been writing a bunch of songs for years, but to finally actually like write it, record it, put it out, like that's just like everything to me. And yeah, it's really made me really happy for sure. Yeah.
And when it comes to the promotion of it, do you
Yeah.
have a team that you're working with, or you do
I don't
all
at the
this
moment.
yourself?
I'm just like independent, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, in the future, I'll probably need one. But, at the moment, no. Just kind
Mhm.
of pushing it out myself and getting it to people and seeing if they dig it. And yeah,
Sweet. And
grind.
do you like that marketing aspect of it? Like once,
Yeah.
because I guess it's like my podcast. Once my podcast is recorded,
Yeah.
I do all the editing myself. I put the teasers up. I put them
Yeah.
all over the platform. So do you like that process too? Because I see your posts and I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming out. The build
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I do. I do. It's a little tedious, but it feels good to know like I'm doing it myself and I'm getting like feedback from it and like I put in that work. Like that's what feels good for sure. I mean, I'm not opposed to other people doing it, let me tell you, but
Yeah, yeah.
it does feel good. It does feel good to, do that myself and get feedback for sure.
Yeah. So who even from the beginning, like who was the one that you actually went to get feedback? Because I did stand-up comedy for a while and I used to hit my brother with some jokes to see if it worked on
Nice.
him or my wife. I'm like, okay, let me look at their reactions.
Yeah.
But did
They
you
really
have
find it
someone?
funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Are they just being nice,
Exactly.
I would say my mom for sure. 100%. She's my go-to for it all, really.
Mhm.
And I know she's biased though, right? So, oh, that sounds awesome. It's like, thank you, mom. Yeah, her for sure. My brother, my family, my closest friends, I go to them as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, my daughter now,
Oh
I'll
yeah.
play my song. She's like, Mama. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Amazing.
right, girlfriend.
Amazing. You're gonna have a cheerleader for life. You know that, right?
Oh my
You know that.
gosh. Yeah, she's the
Mhm.
best. Yeah, I'll be her cheerleader too for life. Yeah.
Okay. I like your vibe. Okay.
Oh,
Now
thank
tell me something. Tell me something. The lyrics for Different Life. I have the beginning here or the chorus. I think you call it that. But you say, how do I find my peace of mind if I don't have you? And then it goes on to say something else. But what made you write this song? What motivated you? And where did this come from?
Oh man. Well, so I was seeing someone for like on and off. Like I've known this person since, oh my goodness, I don't know, I was probably like 17.
Okay.
But it just, I don't know, every time we got together, like it just never would work out. And so I just kind of wrote this song as like, okay, like as an acceptance song, I guess, like maybe in a different life, not this
Mhm.
one, it's not gonna work, but maybe in the next one, man. So
Wow.
yeah, that's definitely where it happened. And the melody for it actually was for a different song that I had written. And I liked it, but I didn't really want to put it out.
Mhm.
And then I sat down on the piano because the other song was more of like the guitar.
Mhm.
And then I sat down on the piano and played the melody, and then it just like came out of me, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot better.
So
So
so with that, so now I know where it came from. Do you find it easier? I love hearing answers from this, especially for people who sing or rap. Do you find, because I used to write poetry,
oh
and
no
when you
way.
get, yeah, when you get hurt in a relationship, it's like the words just come, they flow. They
Yeah.
you don't have to think
You're
about
like,
it.
oh wow, that was too much.
Yeah. So
I really feel that one. Oh my goodness. Okay.
it's so true.
Yeah.
So is this what happened to you? Like it was easy to put pen to pad?
100%. Like that's like writing that song, like lyrically, took me like maybe 15 minutes.
Wow.
Like, yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is the one. Because I have like other songs which I'm gonna put out soon that are, like upbeat more that I
Yeah.
vibe with. But this one was like when I play it for myself, it like gets me in the feels, right? And I feel like that's the best thing about art. It just like kind of gets people in their emotions and how they're really feeling. And
Mhm.
I was like, this needs to be my first one.
Yeah. So where did you record it though?
So I recorded it with a guy named Ashton Price at Morph Productions. He has a studio in Toronto, so I did most of it there.
Mhm.
But he also has a home studio in Hamilton, so I recorded some of it there as well. So
Okay.
close by.
Wow, amazing. Shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out
Okay.
Ashton. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm working backwards now. So I seen you did a lot of covers
Yeah.
and 7 years. Is it called 7 years by what's his name? Graham.
Oh, yeah, Lucas
Lucas
Graham.
Lucas Graham.
Yeah.
I seen you did a Whitney Houston one.
Yes. Yeah.
How will I know with a different rendition of it?
Yeah, yeah, a little slower, a little more, you know.
Yeah. And I'm just going through it. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I love
Yes.
looking through artist page and to see the different covers they do. Do you have a favorite cover that you did?
Oh man. There's a Lauren Daigle. Am I pronouncing that right? I did a cover of hers maybe like a couple of years back that I really like. I think it's called You Say.
Oh,
It's more of like
oh,
a
okay.
religious type song. Yeah, that
Mhm.
was probably one of my favorites. And I like the Whitney Houston one as well. Anything with the piano, like I like doing.
Yeah. So let's get on that now. So
Right.
I see you with the guitar. I see you with the keyboard. When did you learn? Are you self-taught or did you
I
go to
am
school for that?
self-taught. Yeah, I
Oh,
would not call
wow.
myself like a professional player of any instrument, but I can play them. I figure it out. I'm really lucky. I feel like I have a decent ear, so if I hear something, I can figure it out,
Mm,
which I is great, which I love. I'm not opposed to taking lessons, like maybe one day, like I'll get into it, but for the time being, like yeah, what I do know how to do, it's working.
yeah.
I know the basics.
Yeah. I'm always impressed though. Like when I see people playing instruments, I'm like, because in school I played the trumpet and I sucked at it. So me and a bunch of people that couldn't play properly, like we couldn't hit notes. When
Yeah.
we were in those bands in front of audiences, we wouldn't be playing, we'd be faking it because you don't want a bad noise to come out, right? But did you
That's,
did you
that's great.
did you play? Hold on. I like your reaction. I like your
Yeah, that's me.
wait, did you play in you're younger than me, so I don't know. Do they still have band? Did they have band in high school when you
They do, yeah. I play guitar. I was in like a vocal class as well, so I
Mhm.
did singing in high school. But I never did like legit band. My
Oh,
brother, he was in drumline for a really long time, and he actually
oh,
performed at the Olympics, which was like so cool.
what?
Yeah, yeah. Him and this was back when he was in high school, but they were killing it. They played everywhere. They played like upbeat, like Pitbull, like those kind of
Yeah.
songs, and everyone was like, "What is this?" So yeah, he was in
Wow.
band for sure, and he loved it. So definitely a thing for sure. I feel like in the States, it's even like a bigger
Oh,
deal.
yeah. The States is
Yeah,
always bigger deal for everything.
yeah, they got to do bigger and better. Yeah, they're like, "What's Canada doing? We can top that."
Wait, wait, is this something you want to do too? Like cross over, get over to the state to do stuff too?
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I definitely want to like get out there and do more. I've been a few times. Like I've been to Nashville. I've been to California and I
Mhm.
loved it out there. I did like a road trip down the coast.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was on my bucket list and that was great. But yeah, I love it there. And the border is like right there. So it's like really convenient to just kind of hop on over.
Oh
Buffalo's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, now working backwards now, the last one I want to talk about is I don't know, the post was 12 years ago, but you're talking
Woo!
about singing lessons. So you sang Landslide by the Dixie Chicks. And
Yes.
I think you posted saying it was one at no
One
edits.
take. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. No. Yeah, I took lessons for a bit and basically like, she would just like I would go in and she'd be like, "Okay, what song do you want to sing today?" And I'm like, "Let's sing this one." She's like, "Sounds good. Let's do it." And so we would just kind of like do whatever song I wanted to and do a little recording of it and I loved it. Yeah, I really did. I feel like that kind of helped me, like find my groove, like find my artistry, I guess. Like
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to doing covers. I do feel a little weird when I do covers. I'm not gonna lie because
Mm.
I like to be true to myself, but
Yeah.
but I feel like it helps you, like especially when you're first starting out. You're like, okay, how can I make this song my own? And
Yeah.
that's really which my teacher at the time she emphasized on. She was like, okay, like I try and kind of make it your own, like do your own thing, right? Like don't just sing it how other people are singing it. And that definitely helped me find my artistry, which is crucial, you know
Yeah. So true.
takes a long time, but it's crucial.
Yes. And speaking of that, uh, what music did you grow up listening to? Because
Oh
I
my
want to know if it
goodness.
had an influence on you. Because when we grew up in Toronto, we had a lot of influence from the States.
Yeah.
So I grew up with, first of all, my parents' music, right? The R&B and
Ah,
all this stuff, and
good stuff.
calypso, soca, reggae. hip hop, rock, you name it. And I
Yeah,
noticed that had an influence on everything around music with me. So what
for
about
sure.
you?
Oh my goodness. Everything really. I mean, when I was younger, I really vibed with Taylor Swift, I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But yeah, like a lot of her songs. Oh my gosh, everyone really. Justin Bieber, shout out to him. I liked his stuff too. But even like Eminem, like you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
listen to just like a back and forth, like everyone. I listen to country, pop, hip hop, R&B, indie music, like everything. So when people ask me like, oh, like, like what are your inspirations? I'm like, everyone, like
Yeah. Yeah.
does that sound weird? Like if you looked at my playlist, like you'd be like, this chick listens to like crazy music. Like her music's like one day she's listening to this, the other day she's listening to this. But I like to kind of just take little pieces everywhere, and I feel like yeah,
Yeah,
I,
that helps you in the totality of things. It's just like
yeah,
comedy. When I was in comedy, I grew up with Eddie Murphy,
yeah, he's
Martin
great.
Lawrence, and Chris Tucker, and
Yeah,
even Seinfeld. But
yeah,
I say that to say when you listen to a bunch of different comedians, it helps you in your craft as well. Not only one genre of comedy or anything. Even Andrew
yeah,
Dice Clay, I don't know if you know that name, but he was really crass back in the days.
yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay, yeah, he was dirty. But yeah, you take from all of these comedians and then it helps you formulate how you want to be too. And I
Yeah,
and I
for
feel
sure.
that's musically like artists draw from all that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're able to, okay, like what do I really like? Like if you're just listening to just like a couple different genres, then you're more likely to, sound like similar to those people. But if
Mhm.
you listen to everything, then you're like, okay, I can find myself.
Right. So
Yeah,
true.
crazy.
So true. Is there anyone that you would want to collaborate with that's out right now?
Oh my goodness. What a question. There's a few. There's a few. I don't know if you know who Tori Kelly is, but singing with her would be great. Her voice is just off the charts. Oh man, who else? Justin Bieber. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've always been a fan of his. Yeah. So many people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Everyone really. Like,
Yeah. Well, you named it
yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
Bieber, Canadian, you got always got to shout out the
Yeah.
Canadians, man.
Yeah. But I feel like I would really love to collab with someone because I haven't done that yet, but that's definitely on my list. That would just be amazing, you know? Yeah.
Mhm. So do you get that in your DMs yet? Because I noticed when I started the podcast, it's not, I don't have a big podcast, but I do have a couple of people reaching out to me like they want to
Yeah.
be on. But do you
Yeah.
get that where people want to collab or do something with you? Like how I reached out and I said, hey, you want to be on my podcast?
Yeah, like I've gotten some messages being like, hey, like do you need a guitar player? Like, oh hey, like can I send you this beat? Or, I like your beat. Can I use it? Like I've gotten, yeah, a few messages like that for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
People asking
nice.
me, they're like, oh, we need a singer, It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go. I can do it all.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, what projects do you have working on now? There's sometimes, you can't mention certain things that you're working on, but is there anything that you can tell the people, anyone that's going to be listening to this, besides what's out right now, do you want to promote anything that's going on
Yeah,
or
so
is
I'm
coming up?
actually going to release a piano version of the song that I have out right now. It's just strictly my voice and the piano. I don't have my release date set for that yet, but very soon, like within the next like few weeks, that's what I'm planning to do. So keep up with my socials and you'll find out the exact day. But I really wanted to also do just the piano version because that's how I wrote it, like that's
Mm.
kind of how it just came, was just me and the piano. And so I personally like that version a lot. It just, yeah, pulls at your heartstrings just a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I have that coming out soon. So I'm excited about that.
good. Thanks for plugging that. And there's something about the piano when I hear it that you gotta love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it just gets you. Yeah, I
yeah.
started out just like, learning songs on YouTube. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I can figure out how to play this. And then eventually I just started coming up with my own melodies. And yeah, that's just how I started with the piano. But I've been playing the piano for a long time. So yeah, it's nice to finally be able to actually write songs on the piano because that took me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is the piano something that, when you learn something, it stays with you.
Yeah.
But if you stop doing it for a while, you have to that practice to get it back. Is piano something where if you stop playing for years, you can just sit down and just play the same way, or it
Um,
takes a while to get it back?
maybe not exactly the same way, but I feel like once you get your groove back and you kind of like hear, you're like, oh yeah, I remember I could play the song, and then it just like comes back to you for sure. Yeah, it's
Okay.
in there somewhere. It's in your
Yeah.
subconscious. Oh,
Yeah.
you're like, I know this. I know what I'm doing.
True, true.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we're gonna do, I have two questions here,
All right.
and
Lay 'em on
you're
me.
gonna tell me which one you want me to read out for you to answer.
Okay.
The Blue Jays or the Raptors?
Ooh. Let's go Raptors.
Let's
I like
go.
both teams, but let's do the Raptors one.
All right. Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Oh, I would say losing my dad. I know it's a little sad, but he passed away at the end of May, and that was tough for me. Yeah, that was really challenging for sure. Yeah. Mhm.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank
Oh
you.
man.
Yeah, that was rough. And he lived in BC, so I saw him like only like once a year. So that's kind of like why I'm like, you know what? Like you just never know how much time you have with someone. You think, yeah, I don't know, we're still good. Like he was 60. So in my head I'm like, oh no, like we got time, but sometimes you don't. You really just don't. And yeah, so that was challenging. But having my daughter like that really helped get me through that for sure. She's the best. Yeah.
Oh man. I wasn't expecting that one.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. I know
no, no,
that took a turn, didn't it?
no. Now it makes sense when I asked you about what would you tell your younger self about family too. Now
Yeah.
it makes sense.
You're not too cool for them. That's definitely what I would say. Yeah. You gotta always just make the time for sure.
mm,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks for sharing that. Like you didn't have to share that, but thank you.
Of course. Of
Because,
course.
some of my listeners are going through the same things or have been through the same thing. So that's one reason I like doing the podcast too. So people can
Yeah.
hear stories of others.
Yeah. It's real stuff. And I've even listened, like, he passed away literally like the day before I was going to start recording my song. And so I almost was like, maybe I need to just wait. But then there was that voice. I knew he would say, no, no, you go, you do
Yeah.
it. You do it now. Right. So that also, in a way, kind of helped me push harder. So, and I would listen to other podcasts as well, people talking about the same thing. I feel like that's what kind of helps me get through something. Like if I'm going through something, I'll either like find a song or I'll like look up a podcast that's kind of talking about the same thing. Like just what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Oh,
helps. It
I
does.
appreciate you. No. Oh man. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we met on this
Me too. Me
platform thing.
too.
And you know what, too? I don't know if you know if you were looking at my post, but my wife and I we wrote to Burlington from Scarborough here, right? It took us like 10
Yes.
hours.
Oh my goodness. I saw that. How long did it take?
10 hours. So
What?
what's funny though? When you Google it, it says it takes 4 hours, but that's for the real cyclists, right? And I told my
You're like,
wife,
what?
no, I told my wife when we made it down to the beach here by us, I was like,
Yeah.
we're not getting to Burlington in 4 hours. Like, there's no
No.
way. Because we have to stop too, and we ride like 11 kilometers an hour. We don't ride fast, right?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. Slow and steady wins the
slow
race.
and
And that's
steady.
what they say, right?
But yeah, we left at 11 and we got her at around 9 o'clock. But
Oh, goodness.
yeah, we were at the Waterfront Hotel. I don't know if you know where that is, the Waterfront Hotel there.
In Burlington?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it's nice there.
that's where we stayed.
Yeah,
And
perfect. Yeah,
we
it's
ate
just
at a
down the street from
restaurant.
me.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
where?
Yeah, it's just down the street from me. I live near Brant, so
Get out of here.
yeah.
See, if I knew this, I
Like,
would
hey,
have.
what's up?
I would have contacted you. We had at a restaurant right there too. There's a Greek restaurant, there's a gelato place or something. But I
Oh yeah,
think you
you got
know,
everything you need right there. It's perfect.
yeah. But
Yeah, and the lake's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah,
Burlington.
you guys must have been so tired. Like I can't even imagine. You're like, okay. And did you take the train back? I think
Yeah,
I
we
saw
had to.
that.
We
Yeah.
had to. We had
You're
to.
like, there's no way we're doing this
There's no
again.
there's no way. There's no way. It was
You
in
can
the
write it off the
plan.
list, pick it off.
Yes.
We did it. We're
We
good.
did it. We did the bucket list. But the plan in the original plan was yeah, ride there, ride back. But I was like, no, I'm not riding back. Are you crazy?
Oh, some people do that, and you're just like,
Oh
how do
no.
you do it, man? Like impressive stuff. That's
Yeah,
all I'm gonna say. It's impressive because
I know.
I haven't ridden a bike in like years, but I do want to get back into it because I don't know, just like that feeling of being on a bike, the wind blowing and you're seeing scenery. You're like, this is nice.
Yeah, it's
Maybe not
nice.
for 10 hours, but
10
maybe
hours.
for like 20 minutes. I don't know, tops.
Holy, so true. I don't think I'd ride that long again.
Yeah, but it's good
Okay.
though. It's good to know, you can do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's something I can talk about now.
Yeah, you guys can laugh about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Now, Kayla, we're gonna do the donation, right?
Oh,
And then
perfect.
you're
Yeah.
gonna let everyone know where they can find you.
Okay, sounds
But
good.
I always donate to a charity after every episode.
I love that.
And this season 8, it's Claws, Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
always with animals. I love donating to them.
Awesome.
The Fundraiser Warriors, so they're 4 boys that raise money for different charities, mostly
Mhm.
Sick Kids Hospital.
Love that.
And the last one is Make-A-Wish Foundation. So
Perfect.
by my hands, which one do you want me to pop? The left, the
Ooh.
middle, or the right?
Let's go with the left.
Oh, yeah. Something
See?
different. A lot of
Yeah.
people choose the middle. Okay, let me see.
Ooh. Ha.
Hold on. I gotta get it.
Oh no. The suspense. The suspense.
Oh.
All right.
This happens to me once in a while. It pops and it flies somewhere.
That's perfect.
All right. Season 8, episode 5 with Kayla. Oh my gosh. The donation is going to the Fundraiser Warriors.
Yeah.
Love raising money for them.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yes.
Love that.
All right,
So much.
Kayla, before we go, and I want to let you know, anytime you're doing something, if I'm still doing this podcast a year or 2 years from now, I want you to come back so we can look back at our first one and say, hey, this is what we're both doing now. You know what I mean?
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still figuring it out, but we're doing it.
Yes, of course. Okay. Let the people know where they can find you.
All right. So on Instagram, you can find me at kaylademarco.music. That's my only account on Instagram. I'm on YouTube as well, Kayla DeMarco. Facebook, Kayla DeMarco. TikTok, I have TikTok too, Kayla DeMarco Music, all one word, no dot there. And yeah, that's it so far. I used to have Twitter, but I'm like, I can't keep up with all these different, too much for me. I just need a few and I'm good.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Kayla, thank you for coming out today.
Oh my God, thanks for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yes. This is Real Talk with Star Scorpio, season 8, and we out.
We out. Peace.